Good morning and welcome to Bumblebee Junction.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about tomatoes. Now I know that we've talked about tomatoes a couple of times, but these guys right here, we are going to be planting for a very specific purpose and a very special request from Mark. So, I'm going to get everything together and I'll be right back to explain it in detail. Okay, I have two of these beds. These are just the square beds right here by the trellises. But Mark made me these wonderful trellis cages. And while I have used a few of them for the peas, we're going to use these for tomatoes today. Now I have that set about where I want it. So I'm going to use these bamboo stakes. And I'm going to mark each one of these is a loop that I want 4 tomatoes in each one. And I want to know exactly where I want the plants before I put the cage on. And these plants, get them up here where you can see them. Now these are a big beef hybrid tomato, and they are indeterminate, and it says they ripen early for their size, but that's not what we want them for. These tomatoes are supposed to make a very pretty, very round tomato, and what Mark wants these for, and they were picked specifically for it, fried green tomatoes. We are going to eat all of these green, and yeah, it is a wonderful thing, wonderful recipe for summer. So I'm going to get each one of these planted at stakes, and I'm going to put the big trellis back on them. And I forgot my fertilizer, so give me just a second and I'll get it and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my bag of jodes, and yes, I know we have plenty of tomatoes, but we have tomatoes that are the little cherry tomatoes for eating in salads and stuff, and we have the Roma tomatoes that we like to make sauce from. But both of those are not quite what you want for a fried green tomato. So, yeah. One of our favorite recipes. We have gotten an awful lot of rain the last couple of days. This ground is still really, really moist. But you can see these guys are starting to get a little bit root bound. But I'm going to give them a little bit of jodes. Something they can send their roots down and get a nice boost. And yes, if you can see all these divots, the little birdies have been taking their dust baths. So, smooth that out a bit. That one right there. Now I have 8 total plants, but I think I'm going to use both of these extra square beds. And Mark was very excited to have plants specifically for fried green tomatoes. And he does so much around here and builds so many things for me. And I will gladly put in some tomatoes for fried green tomatoes. These make such a pretty round tomato. Make sure I keep a couple of these tags. And bury them nice and pretty deep so they can get all the good extra roots in there. Alright, we got one more for this bed. Okay. And I keep all of my containers. Keep all of my sticks. We're going to get the trellis on these guys. I think I should probably move this one just a little bit. Now, I've never used these trellises for tomatoes before. We usually use them for peas, but they should do a wonderful job growing tomatoes. Get them down all the way in the dirt. Maybe this one doesn't want to go all the way down. That should be good enough. All right. Now I do have one more bed. I think that'll be just perfect. All right. We'll get moved over to the next bed, and I'll be right back. Okay, this bed has the same little birdie divots that the other one had, but I'll get those smoothed out a little bit. It's nice to know that we have such wonderful dirt that the little birdies just have to have a dust bath. Alright, that looks good. Now both of these beds have both been topped off with our soil mix a couple of days ago. Get that right about where I want it. Now mark about where I want the tomatoes to go. Now those 4 plants will definitely take over this bed really, really nice. Do these exactly the same way. Yeah, he's going to be so excited. Have tomatoes, just eat green. Only 2 more to go. All right. Trellis. You get the trellis in here, you get it set up. All right. Now, I'm also saving this tray and all of these little cups. And I have piles and piles of these, but I think Mark will be so happy. Tomatoes just for eating green. How perfect is that? Now we have 2 beds. So that should be a lot of wonderful fried green tomatoes. Okay, take just a little step back. You can see the broccoli right there, and we have the bucket garden behind them. But we have that trellis with 4 really nice plants. We have that trellis with 4 really nice plants. Those are the onions that Mark planted not that long ago. But yeah, he's going to be so happy. Okay, now, really excited to have that done. He is going to be so happy. Look, Mark, fried green tomatoes on the way. Yes, but we absolutely love fried green tomatoes, and that means that later on here in the summer, we're going to have to post a recipe. So, yeah, absolutely exciting. But he did ask very specifically for these, and I am really, really happy to go ahead and get them in for him. He doesn't ask for something quite so specific very often, so yeah, he does so much for me and so much of the things that I can't do. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I probably go ahead and give these guys a little bit of water, but like I said, it has rained here pretty hard for a couple of days, but yeah, it is starting to get a little warm, and I need to get in out of the sun for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to ring that little bell. It'll let you know when I have something else absolutely wonderful going on in the garden. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything at all in your mind, please leave them in the little box below. And if you enjoyed today's video as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. But yeah, it is starting to get a little warm now, so I'm going to go take a break. Thank you for spending a few moments of your day with me. And don't forget, we love you, and we'll see you in the next one.